on this computer. Okay, there we go. So if anyone wants to, if other people come in, I don't think there is, but if anyone else comes in, they can just jump in where we are. So I wanted to talk about, obviously we're like mid-month and we are, you know, December is a little bit of a slower month. That is felt across the board. It is definitely, especially coming out of November where you've got like Black Friday sales and you've got like all this sort of stuff, and all these, you know, different sales. It can feel like December has like a little bit of a drop. But in saying that, you guys have been absolutely killing it. Like you guys have absolutely been smashing it. I don't know. I haven't spoken to one other person on like my side. Oh my God. Oh, there's a wasp outside. It's fine. I haven't spoken to one other teacher that has got girls actually putting in a lot of effort. Like, and I'm like, my girls are on fire. Like my girls are like posting every day. They're educating, they're like showing up, they're getting uncomfortable, they're doing all the things. So I just want to encourage you guys, you are actually doing all the right things. It's not you guys, it's that it's a slow month. Obviously, you know, we can talk about mindset and, you know, there is that comes into it in terms of, like, I come from a really poor family. So I have, and I'm working on it, I have a very broke mindset. I'm like, well, you know, everybody's broke in December and, you know, like everybody's got this and got that. But when you can kind of change your thinking sometimes and go, well, I'm sure we all know people who have a lot of money around Christmas. It's like, for me, I knew people who were able to buy every single one of their family's presents. And I'm like, wow, that's living, you know, like I could never do that growing up or anything. So, but we know those people, you know, and so yes, people may not go, oh, I want shampoo and conditioner for Christmas, but people will see the value. And that's why I keep encouraging you guys to just keep building value and keep educating. Like, obviously you don't want to be Monat, like I said, and you're just dropping it in there into your everyday life. But the more that people feel confident that, you know, like that you believe in the product, you don't have to know everything about the product. Like, let's get that straight, because people are like, oh, I don't know everything. And I'm like, it does not matter. Like, if you look at Krista and Ivy, they would get on their things and be like doing an unboxing and they're like, this is like a volumizing conditioner and it says that it's good for this and blah, blah, blah. Cool, can't wait to use it. You know, you do not need to know everything about the product. You just have to like show up and show people that you're passionate about it, because people pick up on that energy, you know, like people pick up on your energy. They're going to join you because they love your energy. They're going to pick up on you because like they're going to join with you, or they're going to buy from you because they're like, or she's passionate about it, or she really believes in this product, or she really believes in this business, you know? So it's definitely like, you've got to be, you've just got to, and I say this all the time, you have to just be yourself. Like, you really just have to show up as you. Don't look at what I'm doing. Don't look at what the next person is doing. Don't look at what Shannon or Jessie or anyone else is doing. You have to do what feels good to you. I was having this conversation to Jessie the other day when she was at my place, and it can be really confronting, because when, you know, we have all these trainings and stuff on the boards, and it's like, you know, you've got to be confident, you've got to be you. And sometimes it's a really full-on process to go, like when I say, oh, you know, post about your pillars. For me, when I first started, I was like, I don't know what my pillars are. I don't even know why people follow me. Like, and it was very hard for me because I was figuring myself out. I was figuring out what I do like, what I don't like. Why do people follow me? What am I passionate about? What are my hobbies? Like, you know, and asking that as well, like asking your followers and say, you know, you guys, what would you like more to, like, you know, what would you like to see more of, or of, like, you know, Leslie, I know that you post heaps about plants and stuff like that. So people are going, that you've got a niche there, you know, so like if you have a niche, just really drive in that, and then just sprinkle some Monat in there, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to just show up as you. You've got to show up as like who you are. And sometimes that is really hard because you're like, I don't know, I'm just a mum, or I'm just, you know, I just work. And, you know, but you kind of got to find those things. Like for me, I'm like, I love cooking, but I don't have time for it. So when I do try and cook, actually, I forgot this afternoon because I was like, I'm going to record a recipe, and I didn't. But preaching to a choir, you know, you've got to do those sorts of things to like show up and just be yourself. Like if you're going to have team members that follow you, if you're going to have team members and you're going to have market partners that want to be part of your team, it's because not because they want the shampoo, it's because they want to be a part of your team. It's because they like your energy and what you're putting out, and they're going to be like, I'm really attracted to that, and you will attract the right people. Like you know, all of you guys, I get along with all of you so well. You know, in the beginning when I was signing up market partners, there were, you know, a few people who just jumped in for the 40% discount and that sort of thing. But you will find people who are attracted to you as a person. And it's kind of like a cathartic process to go through and be like, well, I don't know who I am. And so you're figuring that out, sort of thing. I have not looked at my notes. So I'm going to look at that because I went on a bit of a tangent. So actually going from that, so that'll be like the importance of recruiting. So we're going to talk about, because the comp plan is changing and it's moving on from, so I'm still trying to get my head around it. I need to watch a couple more trainings about it. But where this is going is you're going to be able to make more money if you have people under you. Now, some of you may not want to have a team and be like, that's not what I got in here for. You know, I just want to make commissions on the product. I love the products, that sort of thing. And you can do that. So there's still a super seller commission. So if you're selling like quite a lot in the month, your commissions can go up to like 45% or something ridiculous. It's 15% at the moment. But where you're going to go in this business, if you are seeing yourself, you know, going on the trips, or you want to hit that rank, or, you know, maybe you do want the car. A car wasn't a big thing for me, but it is for other people. You know, if you want those, you have to have people under you who are in your team, you know. So it is important, because the way that you get your bonuses, the way that you get to MMP, MB, all that sort of thing, is because you're going to have people under you. And so that's the importance of recruiting. So in that, like what I just said, you want to be authentically yourself. You know, there's no point in just being like, hey guys, we're having like a $240 sale as a market partner, and you put up the graphics and stuff like that. People will want to join you because of what you're putting out, and people will want to be part of your team because of who you are. And so I just feel like, you know, the importance of having people on your team is actually going to help them and help you. So you want to be speaking to the women who were you back when you started, or like now, you know, like who are you? Why did you join this? You want to be speaking to the girls who, because you're not here to speak to women who, you know, for example, when I started, I wasn't trying to reach out to 20-year-olds that had just, you know, finished their nursing degree and they wanted to, you know, make more money and have Chanel bags and all that sort of stuff. Like, I was like, I don't resonate with that, you know, but I've seen other Monat girls do that and do really well at it, but it wasn't for me. So I had to speak to the person that I was, and I was like, well, naturally, I wanted to join this business because I needed more money, and I needed more money for my husband and my family and all that sort of thing. So speaking to those people is like, you're always talking to like the new girl. So you're always talking to the new girl. Ivy talks about this a lot. You are always talking to somebody who needs this business. So Ivy, like, I listened to her training today. It was so good. But she's like, you have to get out of your own head. You're not we're in this business because we're not doing it for us. We're doing it for other people too. Like, we're doing this as a service to other people. We're doing this for, you know, the lady down the road, or the girl that you know from high school that's literally just, you know, well, it's maybe too soon, but crashed her car. Sorry, Shannon, but it might be a bit raw right now. But, you know, like, it might be, you know, imagine if Shannon, you know, she just spent all of her money on gifts, and then she had a car accident and all this sort of stuff. You're speaking to those women who are wanting just like something else. You're speaking to somebody who is sick of their job. You're speaking to the girl who needs this business so bad to either, one, like, level up her self-development, because we all know that that is a big thing in this business. Somebody who needs a little bit more money, somebody who has drive, but it's going into the wrong places, like, you know, their dead-end job that they don't really love. Like, you know, you have to speak to those people. And so when you're being authentic about you're wanting to literally serve others and help others into this business, obviously that helps you. Like, you can't always just think about yourself. You have to think, who can I help? Who can I help here with either cute. Who can I help here with, like, the business or the products? Yeah. Or the products, you know, like, you might be speaking to someone who has been getting keratin treatments for like a year and their hair is fried, and, you know, you may not have the most beautiful hair yet, you will, but, you know, you're speaking to the women who you're posting opportunity reels about the business, but then you're also posting people's transformations. Because if you don't have your own transformation, just post other people's. There's literally billions, like literally billions of transformations in the world that you can post. You know, like, you're just sharing the opportunity with people. You're sharing it with the people who need either better hair care or, you know, this opportunity of a lifetime, really. I mean, it sounds silly, but at the same time, it's not, because how many people have we seen that it has literally changed their entire life? And so when we're talking about, what my little notes say here? Okay, so with objections, so obviously this month, you're going to have a lot of objections. I don't have money, I don't have the time, I don't have the confidence, I don't, you know, all that sort of stuff. How many of us started with all the money in the world, the time, the confidence, all that sort of stuff? Literally none of us. None of it. There will never be a perfect time for people to start this business. People will always have some kind of excuse or some kind of thing that's holding them back. And whether that's like, you know, some internal walls or something like that, they're always going to have something that's holding them back. So I have posted a video from Christina about objections, which I will send through again because things get lost in the group chat. But, you know, when you're talking about, I wanted to touch on this because obviously you guys are talking to people. You know, there are people reaching out. There are people that you're, you know, following up with and messaging. And like, I know I can see all of you, every single one on this call, I know is doing that. You know, so you're all doing the right thing. But when it comes to objections, you have to get really good at solving problems for people. You're not convincing them or tricking them. You are helping them solve their problems. You're helping them get out of their own way, sort of thing. So when it comes to, say, a big one this month will be money. You know, like, I can't afford it. So if you're talking to a VIP and they're saying, I don't have the money for that, you know, it's way more expensive than what I thought it was going to be, and, you know, I can't afford the 3 products, because obviously we need the 3 products. It has to be over 130. So one of the biggest things is that it can be chocolate. One of the biggest things with money is talking about the importance. So actually, now that I'm thinking of it, start in this month, in the months that you feel like you're getting a lot of objections about something, money. This can be any time in your business, but because we're in December and it's close to Christmas, a good thing to do would be posting things about how much use you get out of the products, or how concentrated they are, or how long you can stretch them out, or like building value around them. So I say a lot of people, like girls have said to me, you know, I just can't afford it right now. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, babe. I just want you to know that the products are really, really concentrated. They're going to last you a good 4 to 6 months. And when you're explaining the products to them as well, just make sure you're telling them how many, you know, how many months they can last. So I always go, oh, you know, it's girl math. It ends up saving me money in the long run, because most people have, you know, a monthly budget or a 2-month, like, you know, they have budgets. So it's like, well, sure, but this stuff is going to last you 4 to 6 months. So you're actually not going to spend as much money on it. Also, money is like, how badly do these people want it? If you're talking to a market partner and they're like, you know, I say you have somebody who's like, you know, an 8 or a 9 and is like, yeah, I do really want to jump in, but I just don't have the money. It's just not the time for me. What can you sell? Like what can Shannon literally sold some stuff in her house to be able to buy her market partner pack. So how many people do they like get together with friends? Like, babe, do you know 2 or 3 people that would want to do this business with you? Because as soon as you do, you make back that money. You only need like 1 or 2 people. You make back that investment. So start talking to some of the girls, you know, like say that you really love this brand and, you know, all this sort of stuff. How many people do you know need new hair care or a new business opportunity? You know, 2 or 3 people, you make your money back, you know? So there are certain ways around it. There's definitely like, you have to get good at delivering those objections, because sometimes it can feel a bit like, oh, but babe, like it's going to last you 6 months, you know, and it can come across like, I'm just admitting Chanel in, it can come across sometimes like you can feel desperate, you know, you can feel a little bit like, oh, I just feel like the way that I'm delivering this is not like authentic. You have to speak like you are speaking to your best mate. Like, I always try and remember that. And I'm like, okay, I'll think of my best mate. Like, babe, it's going to last you 4 to 6 months. Like, you don't have to write this whole script. Like, we have scripts in our boards. You need to tailor that to how you come across to people. Like me, I'm so like chill with it. And like, I'll just say to people, I'll send a message and be like, a voice message and be like, babe, it's going to last you 4 to 6 months. It's going to, or like, babe, how many people do you know that want to wash their hair? You know, you have to come across like you don't want to come across as like, you know, just not like you know, and that's just going to be like how you do it. If you guys are having trouble though with that, with the, what's it called, like the objections, I'm just going to move for a sec, babe. Yeah, if you guys are having trouble with that and you're finding that you're not delivering it in a right way, I think, Jessie, we were talking about this. Actually, we need to talk about that as well, because, you know, send me some screenshots. If you guys feel like I'm saying all the things and I just feel like it's not landing right, message me and we'll work it out. Like, we'll work out how to better, you know, talk about these things and everything. So anyway, another objection is time. So time is a big one for some people. For a lot of mums, like I signed up my sister and she was my first market partner ever. She just wanted the products. And, you know, she's in a position where she could really use the money. Like, she, you know, she's in not a great situation and relationship. And when I started telling her about how much money I was making, she was like, oh, that'd be cool. And I'm like, why don't you do it? She's like, oh, 2 kids, I don't have the time. And I'm like, well, I have a whole arsenal of videos and, you know, like reels and testimonies of women who have 5 kids, who homeschool them all, and they have made this business work. You know, like people who have these testimonies, like Ivy and Jess and Nisi and all those girls, you want to have them ready to go for the people who say, well, I don't have the time, or I don't have, you know, the money or anything like that. Like, you want to be really direct and speak to those people. Say if you guys are only speaking to 2 people, 2 market partners, and they're just kind of on the fence about it, and they're kind of like, oh, I just don't know. It's the time thing. Start speaking to those people through your stories. Be like, oh, that girl said that, you know, doesn't have, you know, the money all the time. Post a reel about somebody who spent their last $200 on, you know, a product pack, or you know, Jess, who was literally about to have her 5th child and became like AED. You know, like, people need to see that. People need to feel the emotion and go, well, that's what got me in. And I was like, if somebody else can do that, I can do that. I know that that's what like got Jessie in as well. Like, if somebody else can do that, I can do that, you know? And so you need to give them the vision of what it is. Another thing with time is like, well, it's all well and good to say you don't have time, but what are you doing at the end of the night? Like, how badly do you want to change your life? You know, like, depending on the relationship that you have with these people, you can ask these questions. You can say like, well, babe, what's going to happen if you don't do it? Like, what's going to, is it going to be next year? And then you may be going to do it and then you're not, and you know, that sort of thing. Like, if you want to make this work, create the time. Don't watch Netflix for 30 minutes at night. Like, you know, when my son goes to bed, I have to freaking read him a story. I have to pray. I have to sing. I have to pat his back. I have to put on meditation. By the time that I'm out of there, it's like 8:20 at night and I'm exhausted. And I would love to just sometimes just go sit on the couch and put on Friends and just sit there and, you know, zone out. But I'm dedicating my time to it. So ask these people, say like, babe, go check your settings and see like how long you spend on social media every day. Like, it's confronting, but okay, well, so you've spent 4 hours on social media today. What if you just did 1 hour a week and break that up into, you know, 15 minutes a day? If you're just doing 1% every day, you can make this work. You can make this business work. You've just got to be consistent. And then, so you've got money, time. What would you guys say is another objection that you're coming across? Is it mainly just money? I don't know if you guys can unmute yourself. Yes.
Everything. I'm just getting the money, and I've already bought like a few months worth of products. So they've already got like hair products.
Yeah.
From like the hairdressers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely at the moment, money, and yeah, just that
So
for me at the moment.
Let's try and focus this month on speaking to, you know, the money, how like concentrated these products are, how long they last, what they do for your hair. Like, you're building value around that, because people will spend money on what they value. Like, I know people that have $250 to go and get a facial before a Christmas party, you know? So like, people have money. It's just what they value. And so you want to speak to the women who absolutely hate their hair and who just feel like, you know, they don't feel good about themselves. Not like you're targeting insecure people, don't get me wrong, but
flexi ship too.
The flexi ship, you find that's
flexi ship. Sorry, just quickly, flexi ship and VIP. Like, I don't know why, but I'm really struggling to get anyone to be like, and I feel like I've practiced it 100 times. Like, I have had sales saying exactly what I'm saying, but at the moment, everyone just seems to have gotten really sus on the flexi ship and the VIP.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, because it is that Christmas time, people go, oh, more money. Like, if I sign up today, do I have to, like, in 2 months? I'm not going to have money in 2 months. It's Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So it's like, you have to like, the way that I do it, I always do my things through voice voice messaging. But when it comes to flexi ships and stuff like that, you want to let them know that it's for them. I know Jessie has been doing this, but it is a big thing for a lot of people at the moment. So really honing in on, it's a ghost order for 8 weeks time, but don't worry, babe. If you turn the concierge on, I'll move it for you a couple of times. You don't actually have to purchase again until you're ready. Like, you don't even have to purchase again the next year if you don't want to. I will take care of that and push it back for you. Also, you'll get an email. So nothing will come out of your account without you knowing. Anything, like, you'll always get notified. I get notified. I'll reach out to you. Don't worry, babe. I got this for you. You know, they have to feel like you've got it and they can trust you with it, you know. Good look, Jessie. And so, you know, it is going to be harder. It's definitely harder this month. You guys are doing really well. Like I said at the start, out of all the teams, I feel like everybody's saying, oh, my team's just really discouraged and that sort of thing. And I'm like, well, I think my team, you know, are discouraged, but they're still on fire. Like, they're showing up every day and they're educating and they're showing up on their stories and they're getting uncomfortable and all that sort of stuff. So you guys are doing really well. And if any of you are feeling like you're struggling with a particular thing, whether it's a script of what you say, whether it is, you know, like an objection, just message me and we'll work it out together. You know, like, don't feel like you're bothering me. I want to help you guys and that sort of thing. So that was kind of touching on that, closing sales and what you're saying. I don't want to upgrade my Zoom. Hold on one sec. I think we have 10 minutes. I need to take this business more seriously, and I need to upgrade to the Zoom where I can actually do like an hour if I wanted to. Oh, sorry, babe. I have muted everyone. So sorry. Can you unmute yourself? There we go. Yeah. Did you have a question?
No, I was like, just come on, there's like host muted you. I was like,
oh, no,
I was like,
sorry.
good. I was like,
I just try and mute everyone
because Brookie was like going.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, so closing sales as well, like what you guys are saying, after if you're finding that you're sending a lot of carts but you're not getting much in return, number one, trust me, that's normal. For every like 20 people that you talk to, you're probably only going to get 2 or 3 yeses. If you're not getting no's, it means that you're not working this business. Like, if you are not getting people saying, no, it's not the time, it's not the thing, you're doing the right thing, because you're reaching out to people, you're talking to people, you're running your business. So for every 20 people, only probably 2 or 3 people will buy. I still have 169 carts sitting in my hair quiz thing that people have ghosted me or they just haven't checked out. And I have messaged them time and time again, hey babe, did you see the thing that I did? And if you've reached out to them a couple of times and been like, hey babe, did you check out those products that I sent you? Or did you get a chance to look through that? Then just send them, if they're on your mind or whatever, when we have a sale, just message them and be like, hey babe, we're having a sale, just thought I'd let you know. I have messages that I have messaged people 10 times and they've seen it and not written back, but I still keep trying, because so many of those women have come back and been like, they kept watching my stories and that sort of thing, and I can still see them watching me and looking at all the stuff. So I know that they're still interested, and it might take, I think it's something like you need, I don't know the specific number, I want to say like 20 encounters with something to like actually take notice of it. So if you are showing up on your stories, if you're doing lives, if you're posting about the products, if you're sharing people's opportunities, if you're sharing what this has done for people in their life, people are going to keep seeing it. And you may not get that person that you talked to a couple of months ago, but in 6 months' time or a year's time or a couple months' time, they're going to come back and they're going to be like, I've been looking, you know, I've been watching on the sidelines, I'm ready to jump in now. Like, for a lot of you like started with not a huge social media following, which is fine. So many women have done that. But what you guys are doing at the moment is you're setting your foundation. So you're setting strong foundations of people that trust you. and they're going to trust you because you show up as yourself. You know, they're going to keep trusting you because you're passionate about what you talk about. You're passionate about the business and you're passionate about the products. So you're building right now your foundations of people who are going to keep watching and they're going to keep seeing, and they'll start coming out of the woodwork eventually. So I find the people who are the most consistent, and you may not get people for a couple of months. You might get 1 or 2 VIPs or that sort of thing. You might see those people in a couple of months' time when, you know, you've gained their trust and that sort of thing. So I'm like losing train of thought because Effie's putting a blanket over Jessie's face. So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to be consistent because, you know, it's easy to feel really like motivated when you get your first paycheck and you start posting like, you know, for that whole week and you're just doing really well. And then you drop off the face of the earth for 3 weeks. Like, people are going to look at that and go, oh, where'd she go? And then somebody else who's probably selling Monat, because everybody that's watching you is probably watching maybe 1 or 2 other people who's doing Monat too. When you drop off, they might get that sale. They might get that market partner that's been waiting. You know, you've got to keep showing up and being consistent. And if you're doing 1% a day, like, you don't need to spend hours a day on this. If you're doing 1% a day working on your business, you're doing better than so many people in this business. Like, all of you that are on this call are doing better than 90% of people in this business, because most people drop off. Like, most people drop off within their first week or 2. They don't get to MMP. They don't get those first VIPs because they just go, oh, too hard. You know, like, I don't want to be consistent. But consistency is, it's not, you know, I post a reel every day, of course, and being on social media every day definitely gets your reach out there. But if you're speaking to people every day, if you're talking to like the woman at, you know, school drop off, if you're talking to your hairdresser, if you're messaging that girl from school, like, you're working your business, you're doing those 1%. Like, watching trainings and stuff as well is really good. I'm a huge training girl. Like, I love all that stuff, but it's not working my business. It's not actually getting out there and doing the work. Like, I have to create content and I have to create reels and I have to focus on who I'm talking to. So I think it's really important to try and figure out who you're talking to. Chanel, you might have missed a little bit of it, but, you know, you're wanting to speak to the people who, you know, you were or you are, or why you joined this business, why you started this. So I think we've got 3 minutes left. I wanted to talk about, just give you guys a chance to talk about the highs and lows of when you started this business, and, you know, like, what you're finding good, whether it's like the community or the products or whatever it is, and what your lows are. I feel like I might know what everybody's lows are, but still, you know, I want to hear from you guys. And yeah, so you can just unmute yourself and tell me your highs and lows, please. Who's gonna go first? Oh, wait, who wrote? Oh, Shannon, if people seem apprehensive, do you offer samples first or let them ask if you have samples? Samples are good if you think that they're going to buy. I sent out most of my samples, and the only person that bought was Shannon, who's writing this question right now. She literally, people want free stuff. So of course they're going to take your samples, but as we know, the shampoo isn't a one-wash wonder. So unless they've got like a replenish mask, maybe you can give out samples, but, you know, give them to people who you have been talking to and you think might really do this, or, you know, it adds value to them. I went and just, like, every single person that asked for samples, I was just like, yeah, sure, have all my samples. And then they were people that weren't even really that interested. So anyway, we've got 2 minutes. Jessie and
I think like the high is like being in a new environment and learning something new. Like, I think that Monat's like values and direction really align with mine. So I find it it's not easy, obviously, but I find it easier to talk about. It's just more about refining that conversation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like I'm necessarily trying to sell them something, but obviously I am at the same time.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I find it, yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, in my spare time, it's really hard, by the way. I was late because of the time difference. Like, I always get confused with where you are and where
sorry.
I am. So I'm like, I saw that the Zoom thing and I was like, shit, I better pop on. I think it started, but whatever. So I mean, obviously, I'm like, I've got my 4th VIP today, so I'm just hustling for a market partner. So it's just really kind of, yeah, making sure that my conversation around those potential market partners are like enough. If I'm like pushing enough, if I'm like saying enough, should I leave them? It's like, that is a confusing part to me, because you, like, the way that you onboarded me was just so effortless, and I was like obviously really keen and I wanted what you had, you know, and like what was going on. But like, obviously some people are not in that mind frame, but they're like interested. So that's something that I'm finding a little tricky. But overall, this whole experience has been really great. So I'm enjoying it.
So good. Congratulations on your 4th VIP.
Yeah, thank you.
Does anyone, we've got less than a minute, so I actually might get you guys to pop them in the chat, because I'm going to, not this chat, I'm going to do it on the group chat, and I'll get each of you to all message it to me, and then we'll work it out together. You know, we'll talk about those highs and lows. But anyway, thank you all for jumping on. You're all like the biggest legends, and just like, you're all working this business so well, and I'm actually just so proud of all of you. So
Yeah, the girl.